Hi everyone, so this video is about how to write numbers in order when they are given in standard form. So this question says, write these numbers in order starting with the smallest. It might say starting with the largest, or it could say ascending or descending order. So just make sure you read the question carefully before you start. And then I have a list of numbers here that look like they are in standard form, apart from this one on the end, which is in ordinary form. So I have two methods to show you of how to do this. So method one is going to be to rewrite the numbers into ordinary form first. So I'm going to start by just listing the numbers they've given me in the question down on the left hand side there, and I'm going to rewrite them into ordinary form. Now I've already got a video on how to do this, so if you're unsure, make sure you go and watch that video first, because I'm going to go through this quite quickly. I'm going to assume you already know how to do this before you're watching this video, because this is a more difficult skill. So 5.3 times 10 to the power of minus 4 means I'm going to start with 5.3 and divide it by 10 4 times to give me this. Here, this number actually isn't in correct standard form notation, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just starting with 68 and I'm going to divide by 10 6 times to give me this. Here I have 4.79 and I'm going to divide by 10 3 times. So I have this answer here. This one is 2.5 divided by 10 4 times and I get this. And this final one here, I don't have to do any work for this, it's already in ordinary form, but I am just going to write it underneath here so I don't forget about it. Now once we have them all in ordinary form, it's just a case of ordering them from smallest to largest. So I can see that this number here is the smallest because I have 4 zeros after the decimal point. Then I have two numbers that have 3 zeros after the decimal point, but this one is 25 and this one is 53 after those 3 zeros. So this one is the next smallest number followed by this one. Then this number here has 2 zeros after the decimal point, so that is the next in my list. And finally, this number is the largest, having only 1 zero after the decimal point. Now once you've got those all written in order, or you know the order, it's just a case of writing them out on the answer line. And when you do this, you can write out your numbers here and that's fine, you'll get the marks in the exam. But I like to write out the original numbers because that's what they've asked me to order. So I'm just going to start with this one, that is the first, and write them out in order. And that's the answer. Now this is method two. Method two I find to be quicker, but you need to be quite good at a different skill. So this is to write the numbers in correct standard form notation. So again, I'm just going to start by writing these numbers out in a list to the left. And then if we look here, 3 of these numbers are already in correct standard form notation, which is why this is quicker, because these 3 numbers I don't need to do anything with it. So they're fine. This one here looks like it's in standard form, but it's not quite, so just look out for these. This number needs to be between 1 and 10. So I'm going to decrease this by a power of 10 by dividing it by 10, so that becomes 6.8. And then to compensate here, I'm going to have to increase this by a power of 10, which means this becomes 10 to the power of minus 5. And again, I have got a video on how to do this skill, so if I went through that a bit too fast and you're unsure, go and watch that video. It's a full video on how to do that. And then finally, this one here is an ordinary number, so I need to convert that into standard form. So it's going to be 1.6 as my starting number, and that is being divided by 10 twice, which means it's been times by 10 to the power of minus 1 twice. So it's 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 2. And again, I've got a video on how to convert in and out of standard form. So have a watch of that if you're not sure on how to do this. So once you've got all the numbers written in correct standard form notation, there's 2 things that tell me about the size of this number. the number at the front, so in this one 1.6, and also the power here. So this power tells me how many times it has been multiplied or divided by 10. So the larger the power, the larger the number. And that works for negatives as well, in that -2 is larger than -5. So this number here is larger than this one. Okay, so all I need to do first is look down the list at my powers and have a look, because I'm going smallest to largest, which is the smallest power, and -5 is the smallest power. So this number here is the smallest in the list. Then I have two numbers that have the same power. So I have a -4 here and here. So because I have the same power, I then need to look at what was the original number that has been divided by 10 4 times. In this one it was 2.5, and in this one it was 5.3. So this is the next smallest number, then followed by this one. And then I have a power of -3 here, so that's my next smallest number, and the largest number in the list is this one, as this is power of -2, which is the greatest power in the list. So again, once you've identified them from smallest to largest, it's just a case of rewriting them out in order underneath. So these are two methods that are both fine to use in your exam. Whichever you prefer to use is absolutely fine. This one tends to be preferred if you are quite good at converting from standard form to ordinary form and you prefer to order them when they're in ordinary form. It just takes a little bit more time. This one takes a little bit more skill because we have to be confident at rewriting numbers that are not in correct standard form into correct standard form, and also going from ordinary form to standard form. But it is much quicker because they tend to include in the list more numbers in correct standard form, which means we don't have to do anything with these. And then also you need to be able to tell from the powers how to put them in order. So it is a little bit trickier, it requires more skill, but it's much quicker. So if you can master this way, this will save you time in your exam. But as I say, either one is fine and will get you the correct answer and get you the marks. So as always, I've got one for you to have a go at to check you've understood. So write these numbers in order, starting with the smallest. So you can try both methods if you want, and then you get a real feel for which one you prefer. Or you could just go straight away with what you think your favourite method will be, and I will go through both methods. So pause the video now, have a go, and then unpause and I'll go through both methods. Okay, so here's the first method, so method 1, which is rewriting them in ordinary form. So again, I'm just going to write the numbers first as a list and then rewrite them out into ordinary form. So you should have got 0.031. The next one's already in ordinary form, so nothing to do there. Then we get 0.039, 0.526, that's the one that is not in correct standard form. So just be careful there. And then the next one is 0.000048. And once we've got them in that form, we can identify which is the smallest, which is this bottom one here. And then the next smallest, we'll have these two here that both have a 0 after the decimal point. They then actually both have a 3 in the hundreds column, but this one has a 9 and this one has a 1. So this is the next smallest, and then this one. And then these two here have no zeros after the decimal point. This one is smaller than this one. And then write them out in order. Method 2, so a lot of these are already in correct standard form notation, so I can just write those out there. This one here is an ordinary number, so converting that to standard form, it's going to be 1.7, and it has only been divided by 10 once. So 1.7 times 10 to the power of -1. And then this one here, to correct this, I have to divide it by 10 twice. So I'm going to have to increase the power of 10 here twice. So the -3 is going to increase to -1. And then once I've got them in standard form notation, I've got the powers to look at first. So the smallest one is this one here. That's my first number. Then I have these two, both with a power of -2, but 3.1 is smaller than 3.9. And then these two are both the power of -1, but 1.7 is smaller than 5.26. And then again, rewrite them out in order. Thank you for watching my lesson. I'm Mrs. Jagger. If you've liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up below and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching.